I think the problem that she has is the British people have found her out. You know, it's basically the problem she has is the obnoxious way she treats people. She uses them to gain whatever she wants, and then she spits them out, and once they're no longer of any use to her, she just cuts them dead.
Who has she done that to?
Prime example. Sorry?
Who has she done that to, in your opinion?
Her ex-husband, the people she was connected to.
Well, we don't know anything about what happened with her ex-husband.
Finished.
Okay, but why do you automatically...
Explain to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain to you, but if you cut me off...
Well, no, I need you to give me evidence for what you're saying, because it's very close to defamation of character, what you're saying.
You asked for examples, and I'll give you examples.
Right.
Her ex-husband, the connected people that...
What happened with her ex-husband? I don't know. Why do you know?
Who tried to introduce her to society. Once they have no use to her, she cut them off. But she's used the royal family to gain what she wants, so she can social climb. What she did with her ex-husband is she married him because he was a TV and film producer. He could open doors for her. But, you know, once he was of no use to her anymore, she'd got what she wanted. She divorced him. They were married for less than 2 years.
But don't you think you could accuse any woman who marries into the royal family of social climbing? You could just as easily, and not that I would, but you could just as easily level that accusation at Kate Middleton or Fergie, could you not?
I'm sorry, you can't, not at Kate. Look at the way she treated Kate's
Why not?
servants. Look at the way she treated Kate's servants. She made them... She's just absolutely disgusting.
Kate's servants,
and she made Kate cry. Well, Kate had to pull her up and say, you don't speak to servants that way.
Right.
She's got an obnoxious attitude to other people. To other people who are below her, she treats them like dirt. Now, the problem she's got is...
But what, right, so she made Kate cry on one occasion. What other evidence do you... She's made Kate cry on one occasion, according to the tabloids. How do we know that Kate has never made Meghan cry, but we just don't know about it?
Well, we would know about it if she had. Kate would never do that. Look, Kate doesn't treat people the way this person treats other people, especially those below her.
What are your sources, James? Where have you got this information?
She cuts them off once they are no longer of use to her. Well, I'll give you a source. Lizzie Cundy. She was introduced to her. Lizzie could open doors for her, help her. Well, you know, get connected.
Lizzie Cundy, the ex-footballer's wife?
There's other people who are associates of Lizzie Cundy who also say she used them. Once they're no longer of any use, she's cut them dead.
OK, thank you, James. So this is the evidence we have on the table on the one side. So on the one side, we've got clear evidence of a bias against Meghan and Harry, possibly fueled by racism, definitely fueled by this idea of who does she think she is. She has the temerity to be divorced, to not be a virgin, to not be white, to not be the things that we associate with a royal bride. On the other hand, we have our evidence from James that apparently she once made Kate cry, and Lizzie Cundy doesn't think much of her.
Let's talk about something that keeps replaying like a bad song on loop. The British media's obsession with Meghan Sussex. You'd think after years of spinning the same tired tales, they'd finally find a new villain. But no, the Meghan narrative sells too well. Recently, on a talk show hosted by Natasha Devon, a caller named James dialed in to share what he thought was the truth about Meghan. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was the same reheated gossip stew we've been served for years. Meghan uses people. Meghan made Kate cry. Meghan wanted fame. You know, the usual bedtime stories for people who still think Downton Abbey is a documentary. But Natasha wasn't having it. She calmly reminded him, and everyone listening, that accusing someone of being manipulative without evidence isn't just lazy, it's defamatory. And honestly, she did what the media rarely does, ask for proof. That's when James started fumbling like a Wi-Fi signal in a thunderstorm. His so-called evidence included her ex-husband, a couple of social acquaintances, and of course the infamous "she made Kate cry" story that was debunked years ago. Natasha dismantled his argument piece by piece, reminding the audience that you can't build a whole character assassination on rumour and resentment. So, let's get real. Why does Meghan Sussex trigger people so much? What is it about this woman that makes entire newsrooms foam at the mouth? The answer is simple. She's confident, articulate, successful, and she doesn't play by the outdated royal script written in the 1800s. Meghan came into the royal scene not as someone waiting to be defined by others, but as someone who already was somebody. A global actress, humanitarian, and advocate for women's rights. That, my friends, didn't sit well with the gatekeepers of the British establishment. They prefer their royal women, seen, silent and sparkling in borrowed jewels, not speaking truth to power or standing up for themselves. And let's not forget the glaring double standards. When Kate Middleton does something simple, like closing her own car door, it's hailed as refreshing humility. When Meghan does it, it's breaking royal protocol. When Kate cradles her baby bump, it's maternal and sweet. When Meghan does the same thing, it's attention-seeking. The press twists the narrative so sharply it could give you whiplash. It's not journalism, it's a national sport of gaslighting, and Meghan has become their favourite target. Remember that tabloid headline claiming Meghan made Kate cry during the bridesmaid dress fitting? Turns out the opposite was true. Kate made Meghan cry, and Meghan forgave her. But did the tabloids ever issue the same bold front-page apology they used for the accusation? Of course not. That story still lingers because it serves a purpose: to paint Meghan as the villain and keep the royal soap opera alive for the Sunday papers. What these critics refuse to admit is that Meghan Sussex has been nothing but composed through it all. She's faced racism, sexism, classism, and still stands tall. She doesn't rant or whine. She acts. She builds projects, supports women through initiatives like Smart Works, and uses her voice to bring awareness to issues that matter, from mental health to gender equality. That's real work. That's substance. And yet people who've never met her spend their days calling her names online. It's laughable, really. Imagine being so obsessed with a woman you claim to dislike. And then there's Prince Harry, the man who chose peace of mind over palace politics. The same media that once praised him for his charm turned on him the moment he prioritized his wife's well-being over tabloid approval. Suddenly, he's whipped, lost, a traitor. No, he's just a husband who refuses to let history repeat itself. The hypocrisy is so thick you could cut it with a Buckingham butter knife. Here's the bigger picture. Meghan Sussex challenges an institution that's terrified of change. Her presence exposes centuries of elitism, bias, and a refusal to modernize. She's biracial, American, divorced, outspoken, basically everything the old royal blueprint couldn't handle. So the media went on the offensive. They made her the symbol of rebellion, all because she dared to exist outside their narrow idea of what a duchess should be. But what they underestimated was how many people would see through the noise and actually admire her courage. Every attack on Meghan tells us more about her critics than about her. When they call her difficult, they mean she has boundaries. When they call her ambitious, they mean she has goals. When they call her calculating, they mean she's smart. They twist every strength into a flaw because they can't control her story, and that drives them crazy. But here's what's true treats women who refuse to shrink themselves. She is every woman who's ever been told to stay in her lane and chose to build her own highway instead. The backlash for existing on her own terms. And that's exactly why so many people, especially women of colour, see themselves in her. So here's a thought. Maybe it's time we stop letting bitter commentators define her. Maybe it's time we stop feeding a media machine that profits from cruelty. Meghan Sussex doesn't owe anyone silence, and neither do the rest of us. Her story reminds us that empathy and truth are louder than hate, no matter how long it takes to break through. If you're still here listening, you're part of the change, because you care about fairness, about humanity, and about seeing people for who they really are, not what the tabloids invent. And that's what Sussexes Squad is all about. Separating fact from fiction, defending integrity over propaganda, and celebrating Harry and Meghan for the positive impact they continue to make. So, if you believe in supporting truth, compassion, and real conversation, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and if you want to help us keep shining a light on the facts, you can buy us a coffee. The link's in the description. Every bit of support helps us keep the message alive. Until next time, keep your heads high, your hearts open, and remember, no matter how loud the noise gets, authenticity always wins in the end.